Welcome to the Freedom Chronicles.
Definitely an antisocial type.
Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger.
Hi, perhaps you recognize me. It's your favorite president.
In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
We got a loudspeaker here, and when we go into battle, we play music very loud.
With a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Freedom Chronicles. I'm your host, Mike Imbasciani. Thank you for joining us, and we are, of course, broadcasting from the Brian Chapman State Farm bunker right here in Southwest Florida. Like a good neighbor, Brian Chapman State Farm is there for all of the insurance needs that you have for your very own bunker. Give his office a call at 941-625-9998 or visit the office at 2040 Tamiami Trail in Port Charlotte. Now, normally he is the most, we're going to have to start getting jackets that, say the most guest on the show, just like Saturday Night Live did. But while Kenny Joy is currently traveling today, as you saw in last week's episode, he was in Liberty Lake outside of Spokane, Washington State, there visiting family. We now have in the co-host seat once again our favorite pastor, RevelationGospelMinistries.org. It's Mason Weaver, everybody.
What can I say? It's tough being me.
I know. It is. How are you, sir?
Actually, I noticed that when I traveled, you didn't do a live broadcast from St. Louis.
Oh, well, we should have. But see, you traveled the correct way. You were here last week as the guest, and then you went away, but then you came back.
See, so you're saying I should be more like the other co-hosts, is just leave when it's inconvenient and then do the show. I'll catch you. Okay.
Right. Yes. Okay. This is a longer vacation. See, I'm traveling, and folks,
I noticed that.
I know. I'm actually going on a word that I don't say very often, and that's a vacation.
Well, as an old man, let me tell you, Mike, you have never come back from a vacation rested.
Oh, I know. Especially when I'm going to be doing the majority of the driving.
Are you going with your family?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. You're the hired hand. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm the reason why we're going.
Yes.
Because I'm driving. No, it's going to be a lot of fun. And yes, the show will continue. It's the Going Out West tour of the Freedom Chronicles, where I'm actually leaving this Sunday. And the first show will be broadcast from Texas. Hopefully, Chad Prather will be on the Freedom Chronicles with us. But I will be on Chad Prather's show on the Blaze TV. And you can find it on YouTube, the Chad Prather Show. That should be on Tuesday, August 8th. And we'll be out there in Texas. Going to have a lot of fun out there. Of course, we're going in August when there's Las Vegas has hit 120 degrees. Yes. Texas is having a heat index. It's all this. It's no longer global warming. What are they calling it now? Global boiling or something?
Climate change, global cooling, whatever it takes to get your money out your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And your freedom down the road.
Exactly. And we're stopping in. The main trip is to go to Arizona. My cousin Alan is out there and love spending time in Arizona. It's a lot of fun. You've been out to Arizona, right?
Many, many times.
Grand Canyon?
Yes, many times.
Love Sedona, the Red Rocks of Sedona.
The Red Rocks is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. We're staying out of Phoenix. I'd rather not.
No, go up in the mountains.
Yeah, it's a little cooler.
Yes.
A little cooler, but it'll be a lot of fun. But yes, the show will continue. We'll be broadcasting.
Like snakes.
Yeah, nobody likes snakes. Yeah.
They're waiting for you.
Yeah. We'll be broadcasting from the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas.
Perfect.
That's going to be a lot of fun. And then back doing a show in Arizona while we're out there as well, and then driving back. So
you're driving through the heat, night and day hot.
Yeah,
you're a better man than me.
No, thank you. I try. And folks, don't forget you can help support the show by buying some merch like this right here. And this quote today is going to be very important in the whole grand scheme of the episode. Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid. Remember that, folks. You can buy a tote bag and take it to Publix with you. And when you get your groceries, you can be a conversation starter and say, look at this. Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid. You can also get loud locally with Freedom Cow. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mason, you need your Freedom Cow shirt. You still need one.
I do need my Freedom. I mean, cows are great. And I don't wear shirts. So
Yes. And of course, our JFK quotes, if not us. If not us, who? If not now, when? And really, the CIA needs to splinter into 1,000 pieces. The FBI, the IRS, all these things. Of course, that's just my opinion, as this show is solely our opinions. And you can use that QR code right there on the screen or use the link in the description down below. Go check out the Freedom Chronicles shop and also join the locals community for the Freedom Chronicles. And you can use promo code FreedomCow and get 1 month free. It's just $5 a month. You can join the community, as Lovejoy would say, and get some fun extra things. We didn't get a rant. We should be getting a rant from Lovejoy in the airport, you would think. Because I believe he had quite a bit of a delay that he's going to be dealing with coming back. So you get Kenny's rants, you get the bottom of the stack episodes that we do, some of the news stories that we just don't get to during the show, and some other fun stuff. So join the locals community today. Use the link down in the description and get 1 month free with promo code FreedomCow. It helps us out the most in supporting of the show. So it's another historic day, is it not? Just yesterday, Donald J. Trump, breaking news, a shock, but not a shock, gets indicted once again. Again. And Trump saw it coming, but really for January 6th. So what? 2.5 years later, getting indicted for something because he's running for president.
Yep.
And you know what everybody on Twitter is saying, including the two of us right here? It's not Twitter anymore. It's X. I stand with Trump. We stand with Trump. And yeah, Jack Smith basically just handed Trump the 2024 election.
Amen. See, people see the evil. They recognize the evil, even if they want Trump out.
Mm-hmm.
They see the evil, and righteous people on both sides are looking at this and saying, if they can do it to Trump, they can do it to us. They're not dumb enough to miss the fact that every time Hunter gets in trouble, Trump gets indicted.
Yes. Oh, we have that. Ben pulled that up. It's the June 7th, June 8th, June 26th tweet there, or post. It says June 7th, FBI releases documents to Congress alleging the Bidens took a $10 million bribe from Burisma. June 8th, Jack Smith indicts Trump in Mar-a-Lago docs case. July 26th, Hunter Biden goes to court and rejects sweetheart plea deal after it was revealed the DOJ tried to give him blanket immunity from future prosecutions. July 27th, Jack Smith adds more charges for Trump in the Mar-a-Lago case. July 31st, Hunter Biden's former business partner testifies to Congress that Joe Biden was on over 20 calls with his son's business partners and that Burisma execs pressured them to fire the prosecutor. August 1st, Jack Smith indicts Trump again for January 6th. And just in case anybody forgot, DC Drano tweeted out the Burisma video. And I think it's important that everybody actually see what true collusion and criminality looks like from a government. Let's play that Joe Biden video.
I was not but it just happened to be that was the assignment I got. I got all the good ones, so I got Ukraine, and I remember going over convincing our team, or others too, convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I'm not going to, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well,
yep. Well, the end of it there, he says, well, son of a bitch, he got fired, right?
Now, you know what that means. Since you played the video, I guarantee you tomorrow morning, Trump will be indicted
again on something else. Well, and it was DC Drano tweeted that and said, remember when Joe Biden bragged about using $1 billion of U.S. taxpayer money as leverage to fire the Ukrainian prosecutor investigating Hunter and Burisma? Well, Devin Archer, everything comes back. Devin Archer testified under oath that Burisma paid them to do it, and they did. Where in the impeachments? Where do you see? What do you see? All you end up seeing is Kevin McCarthy sitting there like the little bitch that he is. Again, folks, strictly our opinion, but that's what he's good at, how to roll over like a little bitch, because that's all they do is they sit there and they talk and they talk and they talk and they go on the Sunday morning show saying, we're getting, we're doing what we can. Well, we're looking into the option of possibly impeaching him, but it will never happen. But what will it take? Because all they are continuing to do is going after Trump.
We have to recognize, folks, they are planning every move. And you must think, what are they planning for the next election?
Yeah.
They're not going to give up. They know that we only react. We're not proactive. They don't expect us to vote. They expect us to believe the press and believe what they're told. They expect us to continue to allow them to run this country. It's our country. We are a self-governing people. You see, on every front, you can't say thee and them. Can't say him and her. You can't upset. They'll put you in jail now, fire you from speaking things.
In Michigan.
They're right in your face. They're right in your face, America. They want to know, when will you get enough? Let's decide.
Yeah, when is enough? I mean, we've talked about it before. What's your line in the sand? What are you willing to stand up and fight for? And they think this is going to, and the GOP establishment, that's why they're so quiet about this too. They think by doing this with Trump that we're not going to vote for him. I love that this cartoon came out. They finally indicted Trump. Looks like he won't be running in 2024. Time to choose a new GOP nominee. How about Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley? We have this cartoon. It's like, wait, no. Why do you want to vote for Trump? He's such a bad guy. He's got the mean tweets, and we don't get it. Well, you want to know all the support that DeSantis has been getting? Man, has it been sad. Look at these pictures. That's his event with the 25 people in a warehouse. I mean, come on. This tweet here. The DeSantis campaign reset is off to a good start. They had 25 people show up in New Hampshire. Can you feel the momentum? Give me a break. He's standing there in New Hampshire getting rained on. And no matter what, I'm sorry, Tiny D, you should have stayed as governor.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, we stand with Trump.
I've always said those people, the funding behind DeSantis was designed to get him to eat himself alive so he will not run for president after Trump leaves.
Yeah. And they did a good job. Because think about it, there was so much love for DeSantis as governor.
Yep.
Landslide victory, essentially, for his second term as governor. They had to spoil him somehow.
They planned, folks. They planned.
It's certainly believable. But unfortunately, he went and is still going right along with it. But some of these videos, you look at him and he just seems defeated. It's sad. Yeah. And the donors are starting to pull out.
Laying off staff.
Yep.
The parade is over. Mm-hmm. But I've noticed something, folks. I travel the country. I wear this Trump hat everywhere I go.
Yes.
And some of you may have noticed that I'm black and all you colorblind. What? Mike, what? I've been black all my life. Yeah,
I've never noticed.
Except at Berkeley, I was an African American, but I got over that.
Yes.
But I'm noticing now, even among black Democrats, I am noticing this hat on, having conversations. They're turning. They're turning. These inner city. I was in St. Louis, inner city. They're turning. They're understanding this is injustice, and black folks tend to understand injustice, and they know it's effective and also ineffective. They're afraid about their freedom. They're afraid about their possibilities, and they see it, and they're waking up. And the Democrats are losing. They're losing memberships. Even these polls. I look at the background of the polls. I don't see the polls. I look at the samplings.
Right.
They're doing 20 and 30% Democrats in these polls now, and coming out still with Trump tied with Biden. Trump is ahead 8-9 points, and they just continue to ask more Democrats than Republicans, and they're losing, and they're getting desperate, they're getting honored, they're getting evil. We're going to win this thing, folks.
Yeah, we need to. And that's the thing. People are waking up, And conservatism is the new counterculture that not only in the Black community, but they're finding out high school senior boys nearly twice as likely to identify as conservative over liberal, because we're sick of getting it shoved down our throats every day. 12th grade boys are nearly twice as likely to identify as conservative over liberal, according to a survey of American youths, all the youths. The University of Michigan survey found that while boys are trending to the right, girls are trending to the left.
The feelings.
Feelings. With only 12% identifying as conservative. Quote, in annual surveys over the last 3 years, roughly 1/4 of high school seniors self-identified as conservative or very conservative on the Monitoring the Future survey. Dates back to the 70s type of survey. Only 13% of boys identified as liberal or very liberal in those years. Now, it's going to be hard for men and women to be getting along here if the women are on the left and the boys are on the right. But eventually, I mean, what was that video? Came out maybe 2 months ago. The woman was like, all these men, I want a masculine guy, but they're all conservative, and I can't find any liberal men that are masculine and willing to pay for me and do these things. It's like, well, there's a reason for
bless
that.
your lonely heart, sister.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's going to be lonely for quite a while. Getting back to Biden for a moment. I love it. They tried to say, oh, Hunter was just on the phone with Joe talking about the weather. Well, as this picture would say, put them on the phone. I want to talk about the weather. You want to talk about the weather? Yeah, whether they got a effing money or not. And so what ends up happening? You got Biden hanging out on the beach, and really Hunter should have been there with him. So, somebody luckily photoshopped it together of the two of them. Just come on. Does that look presidential or what? Really? But really, we want to know should be the real image. As it has been reported, I believe that the Secret Service has started carrying around Depends with them everywhere they go. But what are you going to do? Hey, you got to mock these people. Good. I'm glad you are. Thank you, sir. And I have this tweet. It was perfect. The tweets are right next to each other. So or the X's, whatever. There's still always going to be tweets.
X's sounds like something I did 20 years ago, and I have one, and it's still hanging out.
What? My exes live in Texas.
Actually, that's true for me. That is actually true for me. Just thought about that.
Yeah. But Jack Posobiec tweeted this out. In a serious country, the Bidens would have been in jail by now.
Of course.
And Posobiec also tweeted, CNN says Hunter was just selling illusion of access to his dad, kind of like how CNN just sells the illusion of journalism. And Tim Pool retweeted saying, and delivering the illusion by giving 10% to the big guy. Exactly. And so my dad was saying yesterday, somebody needs to Photoshop the picture of Biden as the dictator with all the medals, because we are now in a banana republic. And I remembered back in June, the Babylon Bee already beat us to it. The U.S. is not a banana republic, says Biden while showing off cool new uniform, because we are the banana republic of the United States of America.
Yes, we are.
It's sad. It is very, very sad.
Well, we gave our government to evil people, so we're going to suffer.
Yes.
Is this a self-governing nation? And you'd have morons take control of your nation.
Yes.
Watch
the language, Mason. Jeez.
What,
morons? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, morons need...
We allowed to say that?
Probably. It means I never say it again if I'm allowed to say it. I do not want to displease my handlers and my masters, because I always try to be a good slave and obedient.
Speaking of which, how was St. Louis, sir?
St. Louis was really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad I went.
Good.
I did not want to go at first, but it's actually a very profitable, not financially, but
emotionally.
Getting back with my family, it was first time in a long time. It was very interesting, very enjoyable.
Good.
I did suggest for months that they not have the event at a park.
Outside.
I reminded them that St. Louis in August is kind of rainy.
Yes.
So sure enough, a big, huge storm came up, blew tables away and everything else. We got in our cars. And miraculously, after the rain and the storm came and destroyed the park, they found a location that another cousin of mine was general manager of, and we got the whole thing for free.
Oh, very nice.
Why did they start there?
There you go. Now, did you see the Barbie movie while you were there?
I got all my Barbie dolls and everything. I just haven't got the
well, because I mean, this would have been Barbie when you visit St. Louis, right?
Democrat City is always fun to get along, but folks, guess what? I did not meet a liberal the entire time I was there, except on the plane ride coming back.
Always. It's always on the plane.
Yes.
And were you sat next to them again?
Sat next to him again.
Nice.
Yes. Sat next to her and drove her back into a book. Before it was done, I'm going to read my book now because I kept asking questions, and she was saying how it's natural to be born with multi-genders is natural, that they're born all the time with naturals, and we have to give them a fair shake. And I'm saying that, she's talking about how people are born with different genders, different biological and different parts. And I'm saying, do you have a womb? Then you're a girl. If you got a womb, you're no womb, no girl. And she went back to her reading. The only one I've seen in St. Louis at the airport, at the hotel, people checking me in, folks visiting in the restaurants. I'm talking to everyone, Trump hat on, getting attention. I've not met one liberal in St. Louis.
Good. Maybe they'll turn it around.
I'm tired of going to funerals.
Yeah, exactly. Very true.
The murder capital of the nation is St. Louis now.
Wow. Even above Chicago, huh?
Yes. Chicago is second. But in Chicago, they're trying to catch up. They're doing a comeback. 45 folks were killed last weekend in Chicago. So they're making a go for number one again.
Terrible. Yep. Well, we're going to have some more stuff to talk about. But first, we will go to our music segment. And folks, don't forget, make sure you subscribe to the Freedom Chronicles. If you're watching this on Rumble, hit that subscribe button. It's the best thing. It helps us out tremendously. It gets more people in front of the show. It gets the algorithm. It's all about the algorithm. So hit that subscribe button. It costs you nothing. Hit that subscribe button. And then right next to that, the little red button says join. That will cost you $5 a month. It's $5 a month. Use promo code FreedomCow. You get 1 month free. Join the Locals community. Get some exclusive videos. We're going to do something a little different on Locals with Mason after this show. So join Locals so you can check that out.
$1.25 a week?
Something like that. Yeah, exactly. Math, not my strong suit. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps us out tremendously. And if you are watching this on YouTube, take it over to Rumble and subscribe on the Rumble page. And stay up to date with us on the social media. I'll be posting a bunch of pictures during the trip. Follow us on Twitter, or X now, at Freedom Chron Pod, as well as on Instagram. That's where most of the pictures will be posted usually for the Freedom Chronicles. Check that out. Also follow us on Spotify, BitChute, Brighteon, all that good stuff, and also on Conservative Television of America. We had a great time over at Vasani last night for the Simply Clapton show. I have a Simply Clapton show tonight. If you're watching this show right at 6 o'clock, get in the car right now because you can make it. And it's Wednesday, August 2nd. If you're watching this next week, it's already too late. But we're playing at the Venice Art Center tonight for the Simply Clapton show. You can check that out. And go to simplyclapton.com. Check out the full show schedule. MikeImbasciani.com, full show schedule. Nothing happening the rest of August, but this week right here, 6 gigs in 5 days. So I'm getting a bunch of gigs in right before the vacation. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Enjoy this from last night. This is Key to the Highway. Good travel song. we go. Key to the Highway. Very nice. Good stuff. A lot of fun. And this week, tons of gigs. Thursday down in South Fort Myers, Friday up in Venice, and Saturday we got the double over the Twisted Fork, 11:30 to 3:30, and Saturday night at Stevie Tomatoes down in Cape Coral. Saturday night, 7 to 10. Gonna be a lot of fun. So let's do our Patriot and Traitor of the Week. We have our stinger for that. Patriot and Traitor of the Week. Mason, who is your Patriot?
Well, my Patriot has to be the whistleblower, Devon Archer.
Devon Archer, yes.
Devon Archer, who stood up. You know they're going to be after him. Even though they wiped his testimony off the news cycle, it's still there.
Yes.
And that is going to be a tremendous hurdle for them to overcome.
I agree. I'm gonna steal who you originally had for your Patriot. I'm gonna give it to Jack Smith for helping Trump secure the 2024 election. Because all it's doing is everybody's coming out still saying, I stand with Trump. Because you have to. Trump is the only one. Literally 6,000 people at Turning Point Action. I was one of them in that crowd watching Trump speak, seeing the iconic Trump dance right there. You can't. Yeah, the little.
Gotta have that soul, gotta have that rhythm.
Yeah.
He has no rhythm. Thank God for leadership. He has no rhythm. None.
And it is his leadership that we need.
Not rhythm, we need leadership.
Yep. And he's the only one. And remember, folks, they're not after him. They're after us. They're after you. And Trump is the only one standing in their way. And if they can get to him, they can get to anyone. And they're certainly trying their damnedest to do so. Mason, who is your traitor of the week?
The traitor of the week, for me, is the people who are running the DNC, who are planning and scheming the overthrow of the liberties of this nation. It's obvious. It is clear. They're ungodly.
Yes.
They're unholy. They have an adventurous idea, but their policy is dictatorship. The Democrat Party has always been a party of slavery, of misery, of poverty, and they've always done the best they can, and they thrive in an atmosphere of stress and distress and depressed. So my villain is those un-American, unholy Democrats.
Yes, I agree. My traitor goes out to former Vice President, and luckily Tucker Carlson just obliterated his whole political career, but it goes to Mike Pence. And Mike Pence responded to the indictment of his former boss on Tuesday. And I love, you listen to Pence, and he says these things like, well, when I was in, we did a lot of things. Yeah, yes. Who's the we? Why don't you say who the other person was?
There's that mouse in his pocket.
Yeah, but let's look at this. This was his statement. Mike Pence today issued the following statement on the news of former President Trump's indictment. Today's indictment serves as an important reminder. Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. Well, then I think everybody other than Trump who's running needs to drop out then. And I will have more to say about the government's case after reviewing the indictment. The former president is entitled to the presumption of innocence. But, and what do they say? Everything said before the word but doesn't count.
Yes.
But with this indictment, his candidacy means more talk about January 6th and more distractions. Well, people do need to talk about January 6th because there are people being wrongfully convicted for doing nothing, like David Morshell standing in the Capitol for 11 minutes, didn't touch anything, didn't steal anything, realized I probably shouldn't be here and left. Or you have these people that are in the DC gulag, because we are in a banana republic thanks to Joe Biden and all of his handlers, because let's be fair, it ain't Joe making these calls, at least not as many of them.
Joe don't know.
Well, but Joe does know, because even before all of this nonsense, you look at the Biden crime family as what it is with Hunter and Joe there. Yes, Joe Biden has dementia, and I'm sure he has handlers now. But he has been an evil, and remember, folks, everything discussed on this show is solely our opinion. He has been an evil son of a bitch for a long time, well before the dementia.
Well before it, but now he doesn't have a clue.
Yeah, exactly. And it's sad and it's sick. And show the picture of him in the diaper. Oh yeah, all the people here, and these are Republicans and Democrats. The big government rest home. Yeah. Oh, man. Feinstein, 90 years old, with her handlers and puppet masters saying, just say I, just say I, just say I. Mitch McConnell freezing like the turtle, like the scared turtle that he is, going back into his shell. All these people, they should not be there.
Don't forget, folks, they got to where they are the way things are.
Yeah.
Nobody on either side of the political spectrum wants to change things because everyone got their place in power
Exactly.
the way things are today. It's going to take us to stop the mess and change it back. It will not be anyone else other than independent thinking people led by Donald Trump.
Yes. And it's bigger. It's bigger than the American government, too.
Yes.
It is this global
Yes.
ideology that they want this World Economic Forum, one world government nonsense. They want control over your life. And just think, oh, Klaus Schwab, he's what, 80 something. He'll be dead soon. But no, his daughter is just as bad. We have this Klaus Schwab's daughter, permanent climate lockdowns coming, whether you like it or not. And does she not look evil or what?
I just think that the folks that are right in your face, they're telling you what they plan on doing, and you're sitting there.
They're daring you. What are you going to do about it?
Don't forget, we saw the clip earlier in this program. Evil cannot exist unless we're frightened.
Yes, exactly.
I forgot who said that. Who said that?
Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid. Ronald Reagan. That's my quote of the week. There you go.
Perfect timing.
Do you have a quote of the week, sir?
No, other than myself. I do want to make this point again to you folks. There is a change. The Democrats have never, ever won an election when 10% of the black vote goes Republican. And I see this all over this country now. I see it because under Donald Trump, 72% of black people became middle class. They're paying taxes, they're paying gas, they're seeing the regulations, they're seeing the hostile attack on their income, and they're changing, they're whispering, but in that voting booth, they're going to change. They have never won an election if they lose 10% of the black vote. Let's keep talking to them.
Yeah, you have to. Talk to your neighbors, folks.
It's okay. I'm getting salutes and pats on the back from black. I like that hat. I like your hat. I like your hat.
But they always whisper it, don't
yes,
they?
They whisper.
Stop whispering, folks.
Shouting.
Get loud locally. That's why it's the motto of this show. Get loud locally, because you can make a difference. You can't change the world, but you can make a difference in your community. Get loud locally. It's important now more than ever. Sean Davis has this tweet I want to pull up. The 2020 election was rigged, and they're trying to throw Trump in prison before the 2024 election because they're not confident they'll be able to rig that one.
Amen. They're dangerous, folks.
It's true.
But the only thing that shields us from that danger is our righteousness. Stand up for what's right, and it will protect you.
Yes. A couple other things I want to talk about here. One of the big ones. Now, I asked you, Mason, so you volunteered to go into the Navy.
Yep.
Now, when you were there in Vietnam, what was the sentiment between the men who were drafted as opposed to those who were volunteers? Was there a lot of hatred to the military from those who were drafted?
No, I didn't see any problem with the government and the troops, except one. It doesn't matter if you're drafted or whether you were a volunteer. Don't put me on the ground and not allow me to win.
Right.
Don't tell me to fight to break even.
Yeah.
Don't put me in a position where I got to build roads and train my enemies. Just if you're going to send an American soldier someplace, send him with the orders to win. Yeah. And that's the problem in Vietnam.
Right. I've been saying that for a long time, that, the last war that we won was World War II because we were allowed to win, and we did everything we could to win.
Yes.
And it was it was every war after that you didn't fight to win. And I also think that one of the big things that will spark a civil war,
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore,
is if they bring back the draft. And now you're starting to see it. Military.com. And I love how they have to say, the opinions expressed in this op-ed are those of the author and do not necessarily reflect the views of military.com. Well, but you still published it, didn't you?
You did.
Since 1775, our nation has used a combination of volunteers and draftees to meet our national defense personnel needs, especially in times of crisis. Today, the military needs only about 160,000 youths, only, from an eligible population of 30 million to meet its recruitment needs. But after 2 decades of war, both of which ended unsuccessfully, again, because you weren't fighting to win.
We won every objective in Vietnam, folks.
Yeah.
Every objective.
And then pulled out.
Went told to win.
Yep. You could also jump down the conspiracy. It's not even conspiracy theory really at this point anymore, but why they killed JFK because he didn't want to get involved in Vietnam, because already enough Americans had died, and it was, 20 of them or something? It was a ridiculously low amount of a number. But Lyndon B. Johnson, send them in. Now, the fastest and most effective way to resolve this recruiting crisis is to change how we recruit. I'm telling you, folks, they want a civil war. They want mass disruption. They try to bring back the draft to try to send your sons and daughters to go die in a useless, meaningless war in Ukraine.
Are they going to draft women too?
They should. But what are they doing? The trannies.
Exactly.
The transgender. If you're getting, but no, Lovejoy talked about this last week. If you're getting the injections, the hormones, you don't get deployed.
Yes. So once again, we're all not equal to fight.
I need the soundbite now of Shania Twain. Man, I feel like a woman.
So you can be a woman only when it's convenient.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And what I was saying, hey, you get some of these women that are getting jacked up on testosterone, man, they'll fight better than some of these squirrely little lady boys.
No, the woman I do not want to meet on the battlefield is the one going through menopause. I'm telling you, menopause is the greatest.
Yeah, gonna send Dylan Mulvaney,
yes,
over to Ukraine. I'm gonna throw sparkles at you. Speaking of Dylan Mulvaney, man, Mason, you've done speeches. I've now done a few speeches. You get paid for that sort of thing. I
get paid no attention, but yes, I do get paid. Yes,
yes. Well, Dylan Mulvaney is now charging $40,000 for a college speech.
You mean
because he lost
not to show up? You mean?
Yeah, right. It should be. So the dude who has lost Bud Light tens of billions of dollars in market cap value, and Bud Light distributors no longer expect sales to recover from Dylan Mulvaney disaster. Good, because again, folks, that's showing you have power. You have power out there. Get loud locally. Let your voice be heard. Let your wallet be heard, and not buy that garbage. Now Dylan Mulvaney thinks that he's going to get $40,000 a speech to say, man, I love Bud Light.
But he will get it because the schools will pay him. The schools taking your money and enriching as many liberals as they can. Mm-hmm. They're enriching them powerfully to give money back to Democrats. So he's going to get the money, but he will not get the students. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And another thing, something very interesting, and you can say, well, Mike, Mason, Ken out there on his airplane, we live in the free state of Florida. Bad things don't happen here in Florida, right? And we say wrong. We say wrong, man. I'm fired up today. We say wrong because this comes from Florida's Voice by Brendan Leslie there, Florida's Voice. Retail health company has Chase bank accounts suddenly terminated. And the owner, and this happened in Cape Coral, Florida, not Tampa, not Jacksonville, not Tallahassee, not Miami, Cape Coral, Florida. Employees of a Florida-based retail health company. It was Mercola Market. I've played there a few times. I've met Dr. Mercola, very nice guy, and he was a big leading voice in telling people during COVID, you have to get outside. You have to get out in the sun, get your vitamin D, get your exercise, and take care of your body. You don't need the jab. You don't need all the stab juice. You just need to take care of yourself in a reasonable way. Well, Chase Bank didn't like that, as JP Morgan Chase Bank suddenly terminated their personal and company bank accounts without an explanation. One of the employees believes that The account shutdowns were politically motivated due to their employees' controversial stance on COVID-19. Another Mercola Market employee said the sudden decision to close her account created additional hurdles to help send money to her husband, who is bedridden with dementia in the Philippines. So these people will do anything just to shut people down. After the original publishing date of the story, Chase told Florida's Voice they extended the deadline for the employee to sort out the situation. The owner of Mercola Market, Dr. Joseph Mercola, has criticized COVID-19 jabs there and the FDA. So, and of course, responding to the report, Chase told Florida's Voice last Wednesday that the accounts weren't closed for political affiliations.
Absolutely
Quote,
not.
for privacy reasons, we can't discuss customer relationships.
Why does
we
a
don't
bank-
close accounts because of political affiliations.
Why would a bank shut down an account?
Right.
For no reason. They make
For
their
no
money
reason.
on the
Yeah.
account, folks.
And they had pictures of the letters that basically said, account terminated. No reason. So let your voices be heard, folks. You have accounts at Chase, pull out.
Hey, by the way,
before they freeze your money.
It was announced today that that Florida is no longer the #1 tourist state.
Really?
You heard of that?
No.
We're now number 14.
What's number 1?
The day Idaho, something like that, some golf taking anyway. The day after Disney lost their special rating.
Yeah.
And the next day, we're no longer the tourist capital to travel to. It's amazing how we lost not just to number 2, we down to number 14.
Yeah.
So therefore, folks,
because everybody wants to go, everybody's checking out these states of, there's not a lot of people here.
Yes.
I should move here.
Yes, the taxes. But who wants to go? I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to go visit these states that the people are saying is the great tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Because I've seen trees, I've seen mountains.
You like potatoes, right?
I like potatoes.
You go to Idaho, get a lot of potatoes.
I have a joke. I'm not going to say it.
Come on,
I'm
do it.
not going to say it.
Lovejoy would do it.
I know.
Do
but
it.
see, I'm not big like him. I have to have that girth.
Yeah,
I have
right.
to have the muscle. I don't go to the gym as much to say these things.
You got to swim.
I'm going to take my own advice. I'm going to sit here. I said before I came to the studio, I'm going to be nice today.
Oh, come on. That's not as much fun.
Trying hard.
Oh, yeah. And something I saw, I've joined this group chat of some of the folks I've met at the Turning Point Action Conference. And one of the guys posted just a statement that I found very interesting. And Mason, I want to get your thoughts on this. And he said, sometimes I wonder if we are actually fighting for a country different from the one we currently live in.
Well, we actually live in a great country. We're governed by evil people.
Yes.
So we're fighting to maintain or regain the country that we inherited from our forefathers. Liberty is only available to those who defend it.
Yeah.
It is a constant threat from evil. It is a constant, unending threat from evil. And if we're not going to defend this nation, we're not going to have this nation to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the quote? The price of liberty is eternal vigilance.
Yep.
And it's true. You have to, people, it's not enough anymore to just say, oh, I'm just going to live my life and I hope they leave me alone, because they don't want to leave you alone. They want to control every aspect of your life, and they already do.
We give them entertainment. They teach our kids to hate our values. Mm-hmm. We put them in government-run schools, so they're learning to worship government, believe the science. You can't even believe the science.
Trust the science.
Science said that I was not equal as a man.
Yeah.
Science says that I wasn't a human. Science said that the sun was 35,000 miles away. Science said that mankind could not travel past 55 miles an hour. Science, if you got a 5-year-old science book in your home, it's already outdated. Believe the science.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. What can I say? I think,
and we applaud you for that. That was great.
I think for a living.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's something to say that the country is different than what we are fighting for. We're fighting, and Jack Posobiec had a good quote. It's like, especially for COVID and what they're going after Trump for, the January 6th. People are fighting over memories now.
Yeah.
And it's whoever can recount the memory, or history is written by the victor. Somebody else said, "Isn't it great? The good guys have won every war."
Yes, isn't that wonderful? It's amazing.
So
We have a situation.
It's one of those things that
with if you notice with Trump,
Mhm.
I read the indictment.
Yeah.
I'm one of those few nerds to actually read this stuff.
Nice.
There was 0 charges that match a law.
Of course.
There's nothing he did illegal.
No.
It's his imaginary intentions. It's his imaginary thoughts, the interpretation of his words. But there is no statute that they have even produced that he has fall to obey. It's a scam.
It is a scam. And folks need to stand up and, well, let's put the picture back up. I stand with Trump. I stand with Trump. Mason, you stand with Trump. Everybody needs to stand behind him because they hate him so much. They know he's the one who can take them down.
The only one.
He's the only one. And now I have this video. We should play this too. DeSantis is trying to say that Trump's support of him in 2018 hurt DeSantis. We have that clip. Let's play that one.
To clarify, you don't believe that former President Trump could win a general election against Joe Biden?
I don't think so, because I think that there's too many voters who just aren't going to vote for him going forward. I saw it in Florida in my reelection. I won the first time by less than 1%, second time by 20. Why did people vote against me in 18 but then voted for me 22? The number one reason they gave was because of Trump, because in 18 they said that they were voting against Trump, voting against me to vote against Trump, even though they didn't know much about me.
I'd like to thank our president for standing by me when it wasn't necessarily the smart thing to do.
Notice that, when it wasn't necessarily the smart thing to do.
Prophetic.
Yes, quite. Well, what has Trump been saying? Yeah, and you see where DeSantis is now. It's sad. It is, and it's too bad, really.
Great governor.
Great governor. He could have walked in 28.
Yep.
But he got corrupted, and sad.
So he said that the people, his poll said that they didn't vote for him because of Trump. I want to see that poll.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to see that
Especially when Trump's been talking about the day after he endorsed him in 2018.
Yeah.
His polls shot up.
Yep. It's amazing how your thinking can change with whoever gives you money.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Oh, yeah. We'll leave you with this one on a funnier note. We all love talking about Lizzo.
I don't. I don't want a woman bigger than me. I'm sorry.
3 former dancers for rapper and singer Lizzo, who performs, have accused the performer of creating a hostile work environment and harassment. The singer reportedly accused one dancer of drinking on the job and subsequently subjected them to an excruciating audition. The singer is also accused of pressuring the dancer to touch a nude performer at a club in Amsterdam. What is wrong with people? But see, these are also the type of things that are meant to be distractions for people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Every time something comes out against Biden or somebody else, something else happens.
Shiny objects.
Mm-hmm. Shiny objects. Look at the Titanic implosion there.
Yes.
They knew about it 4 days before they released it. Why? Because it was covering the news everywhere, and the true stories get buried.
Yep.
That's why we have this show, folks.
To keep you focused.
Keep you focused, make you laugh, but bring you the important topics.
Because with knowledge comes power.
Exactly.
With your knowledge comes your power.
Yes. And that's why, folks, you have to get loud locally. Do your part. At the grocery store, you're walking out, you hear somebody huffing and puffing over their receipt there because of how much they're paying for eggs. Strike up a conversation.
Yep.
Be a conversation starter. Evil is powerless if the good are unafraid.
If you're silent, you're complacent.
Exactly. Mason, what do you have? Anything to add at the end here?
Not really. I just want to thank you guys for waking me up and bringing me out this morning, early in the morning.
Yes.
To entertain. It's very entertaining. I like this seat. I think I like this.
This one's more comfortable than the other one, right?
Yes, it's much wider at the bottom.
Yes.
Love you, buddy.
Exactly. Love you too. Thank you. Yes, I know. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going out west. And so the next show will be in Texas. And after that, we'll be in Las Vegas and then Arizona. So keep it right here. Hang out with us. Follow along on Instagram. Follow the Freedom Chronicles on Instagram. Follow the Freedom Chronicles on X. And stay up to date with all the social media stuff going on. And make sure you subscribe to the Freedom Chronicles on Rumble. And subscribe to the Freedom Chronicles on YouTube and Spotify. Share it with your friends. It's we greatly appreciate it. And subscribing really helps us out. It gets the numbers up. It gets us in front of more people who also then can subscribe. Thank you to the Local Meat Club for being a sponsor. You can check out the Local Meat Club down in the affiliate link below and use promo code FreedomCow as well to let them know that we sent you. And make sure you join the locals community for the Freedom Chronicles. If you're watching on Rumble, it's that little red button right there. It says join, or there's also a link in the description, or use that QR code right there and join the locals community. We're going to do a video in a couple minutes here that will be up later, and go get some merch. Be a conversation starter. From the bunker, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
You're watching Conservative Television of America, working hard to stick socialism where the sun don't shine.